This video is for you if on the 1st of January you had these goals down which made you feel alive, and 9 months after, today you are still in the same place with nothing being done. Those goals are still there. Now this video is for you because 5 years ago I was the exact same person. I was a Uber Eats delivery driver. I was working in retail, making £1,200 a month. And there is nothing wrong with making £1,200 a month. But for me, I knew that I was made for so much more than just folding clothes, delivering food, doing something that anybody else can do. I remember I would walk around, speak to people, and felt like I can make an impact. And I realized that my current reality wasn't actually matching that. Because the thing is, every day that went by was just proof that I didn't care about my dreams as much as I said I did. Now, one thing I decided to do is I said, let me just play around. What if I actually do it? And that's when I realized that in 12 months, I managed to change my life drastically because I started taking it seriously. This is people's biggest problems. They don't take their life seriously. They think everything's a game because the moment shit gets hard, they get overwhelmed and leave it off for tomorrow. But when tomorrow comes, it becomes today and they live with the excuse of tomorrow. Now, I'm going to show you exactly how I managed to change my life so you can go ahead and do it too. Now, I had 3 goals in mind. One of them was to become my best version. The second one was to live a life without fear. And number 3 was to make online money. Now, these are the only 3 things. Now, understand, to achieve the next 2, the number 1 thing is be your best version. Because you have to be the best you to be good at anything else. And that's one thing I didn't really understand. Learn to conquer self or you'll be conquered at self. If you are bad at being yourself, how can you not be a bad entrepreneur? How can you not be a bad partner? How can you not be a bad friend? So that is the base for everything. And understand that you are a buildup of your habits. Your habits stem from your actions and your actions stem from your thoughts. The biggest problem is the knowledge that you have. Who are you? That is the biggest problem that most people have. They don't know who they are. I did not know who I was. I was a buildup of ideas that were passed down onto me. When was the last time you actually questioned them? The hardest thing is not learning because all you're getting is this dopamine that this seems interesting, this is fun, this idea seems cool, but it only ever stays an idea. The moment it actually starts to help you is when you start to apply it. But for you to apply it, you need to unlearn before you learn. And that's where the hardest part is. The thing is, you have somehow convinced yourself that you think you know everything, which is why you haven't progressed. You have a very big ego, and your ego protects that very thing that does not serve you. Just ask yourself, look at your results, ask yourself, if I listen to me, I will continue having those results. Now, look at the person that has the results that you want. What are they doing? That means that you should be doing that too. Until I realized that, then I start to change because I remember my first ever mentor, which I had, he was a lot younger than me. And I could not accept that someone younger than me was more successful than me. Now, what is success? Success is doing that thing which is hardest to you. Now, the person that you're inspired by, well, they are successful at the thing that you want to be successful at too. Whether it be making money, whether it be being disciplined. And it happened to be that he was better than me at both of them. And there's one thing recently that I've learned about very successful people. The thing about very successful people is that they have this childlike mentality where they are malleable and they learn to listen as if they didn't know nothing. And for me, I always wanted to be the best in the room. Then I realized that for you to be the best in the room, you have to seek to be the worst in the room. And guess what? For you to do that, you need to lower your ego. And that's how you actually learn. You have to learn to listen. And that's one thing I started to implement. Then I went to my first ever mentor and I said, how can I become my best version? I started to chase discomfort. I realized that discomfort was the answer to growth. Look back at the evidence. Every time that you have grown, every time that you have felt alive is because you've done that very thing which is uncomfortable to you. And get in the best shape that you can possibly get into, because no one ever wakes up saying, I want to be in worse shape than I was yesterday. Because your physique is a business card. It represents who you are and it speaks for you when you don't. That is the number 1 thing. The second thing that I wanted to overcome was this fear of fear. And I realized that is my biggest fear now, living a life of fear, because it's just a projection of the future, of a possible outcome that leads to procrastination. That what if? Now I live by even if. The difference is that you suffer a lot more in your imagination than in reality in itself, because you keep on thinking, if I do this, that will happen. So you're trying to cover all of these areas that you end up just tiring yourself out mentally and you haven't done anything. So you might as well have not thought of nothing, because you've just tired yourself out. You've seen the possibility of what you can do. Now you feel disheartened because it's never going to happen. You're afraid of making mistakes. You're afraid of what people think. You're afraid of a negative outcome. Go ahead and do it. The reason that you're afraid of this negative outcome is because ultimately you're scared of what people think. You never fail, you never lose in this life. You either win or you learn. The only time you actually fail is if you quit. And that's one thing I didn't understand. I kept on trying to wait for the perfect moment, wait to curate this perfect video. By the time I posted one video, someone else had posted 100. By the time I done my first workout, someone had done their 6 months in. You keep on over analyzing, you keep on waiting for more information. That is the average person's problem. They're trying to over prepare but underact. You need to start taking more action, and that's the key word that I want you to take away from this. That action is the answer to everything. The key is to being present. That is where action takes place, in the present. And the third thing is making online money. That's something that I always wanted to do. Now, that could be for you a skill, something that you envision yourself that you want to grow in, whether it be starting a clothing line, whether it be, I don't know, starting your own physical business, anything. The first time I tasted online money, I realized this is for me. How can I make a living of this? And that's when I entered the route of growing a personal brand and sharing something that I'm proud of, sharing something that I'm passionate about. And for me, it's self-development, because this has honestly changed my life, starting from waking up early. And I used to think, what is waking up early going to do for you? Waking up early in itself doesn't do anything for you. 5 a.m. isn't going to change your life, but it's what you get out of it. What you get out of it, you get discipline. You learn to battle against your emotions. You learn to actually do what you're meant to do instead of falling into how you feel. It's not about what you gain, it's about what you remove. You remove that self-doubt. You remove those self-sabotaging thoughts, because that was my biggest problem. I always felt like I was never good enough. I always felt like everything I done, I was going to be bad at. There was always someone a lot better than me. Why would someone come and listen to me? Why am I special? But then I realized, if they can do it, why not me? That is an abundance mindset. When you having a scarcity mindset is, why would it be me? Like, it can't be me, because you think it's either them or you. There is enough space, because someone might like you, someone might like them. There's enough space for everyone. You just have to do your part and go ahead every single day, realizing that it's meant for you. You go ahead and do it. You just need one moment. That's all it takes. And that's what I've realized, which is why I show up here on YouTube, where today we have over 3,000 followers. And you will look back at this when I have over 100,000 followers, subscribers. This is the same thing with my Instagram. I was posting for 4 years, had no traction, and now I have over 360,000 followers just on my Instagram. Before, my goal was to get 100,000 views. Now I get over 20 million views every single month. Now, before, I was working a 9 to 5 where I didn't really like, because I was thought to myself, if I'm going to be here for the rest of my life, that used to overwhelm me. Making the bare minimum, realizing that there are people making a lot of money. Now, why they're making a lot of money? Because they're solving bigger problems. And I just thought to myself, if I was to die here, someone can easily replace me. And this is a skill that anyone can do. Like, I know I'm meant for more than this. Why am I still here? Because you need to learn to improve yourself, because once you improve yourself, you will translate that improvement into everything else. And that's why I always seek education. That's why I seek discomfort, because I know at the other side of it is everything that I want. Now, you just have to implement the same things. You need systems to fall back on. And the thing for me has always been discipline. That's why I tell you guys that everyone has excuses. Excuses are valid. You don't feel ready. You're not meant to feel ready, because when you wait for the right time, you'll be waiting for the rest of your life. That's why I went 5 years in the same place, working in this retail place, because I felt comfortable. The right time doesn't exist. You have to create it. And I told everyone this all the time. I tell my clients this all of the time. I tell them, wake up 5 a.m. Oh, why do I have to wake up 5 a.m.? It doesn't feel convenient. That is your problem. You're waiting for it to feel convenient. Your goals don't care about you. You're doing something that you've never done before. Your goals is something that you've never done before. You're waiting for it to feel natural. It is never going to feel natural, because if it felt natural, you would have done it by now. What feels natural to you is all of these negative things that are holding you back, which are leaving you in shame, guilt, and regret, in a state that you don't want to be in, which is why you're even watching this video. So how do you overcome it? Get used to doing the things that you don't like. The thing is, everyone is so soft. Everyone is so weak. Understand that your level of success will never surpass your level of stress management. How much stress can you actually handle? You're focused on the how, the blueprint, the method, the quickest hack, the quickest way. No, you need to focus on you being a disciplined, consistent, resilient person that can overcome all of these hardships. You think this goal that you want is going to be easy? You would have had it by now. The reason you want it is because it's going to be hard. So you have to be someone that when you get knocked down, can you get back up? When things don't go your way, can you keep on going? When you feel burnt out, can you keep on going? That is a secret. Because most people, the slightest bit of friction, they feel sorry for themselves, they get overwhelmed, they get sad, they get depressed. Of course you're going to feel depressed because you're stuck in the past. Of course you're gonna feel depressed because there is no movement. You are literally stuck. Movement is life. You have to be progressing. You have to find areas that you can progress in. And the best uncommon advice I can give you, if you don't know what to pursue now, pursue being the best version you can possibly be. Be the most disciplined person that you can possibly be. Be the most consistent person. This is the thing. Discipline is the biggest form of self-love because it's saying no now, but it's a great yes to something that you truly want. And most of you guys have this so messed up. You guys think that you're not meant to suffer, that you don't have to, that you don't want to pay a price, that you want to be comfortable. You're going to have to pay the price anyway. Pain is compulsory. Suffering is optional. You pay the price of working hard, going through those long days, going through doing the work when you don't feel like doing it. Then you get the reward of feeling proud of yourself by becoming the person you've always wanted to be. Or you go through the comfort now, you say tomorrow, you say you're gonna do it next week, and you pay the consequences of never becoming the person you've wanted to be. 9 months have gone by. You are still in that same place. Another 9 months will go by. You will still be in the same place unless you start to change the way that you think by convincing yourself first before you convince anyone else. Change the actions that you do, because if you want change, there must be change, and allow that to solidify to become your habits, which then will take you to the place that you want to get to. Repetition is the name of the game, which is why I tell you guys discipline is a bridge between where you are and where you want to get to. Why do you think I speak about this with so much passion? Why do you think I do my videos with one take? Why do you think I have no scripts? Because I've been there. I know exactly how shit it feels to be someone that you know you have so much more potential, yet you are stuck because you are being a liability to yourself. The key isn't what this thing that you want. The key is being the person that you want to be. And that will take you to where you want to get to. Now look, if you like this video, put it down in the comment section below. What was your biggest takeaway? Like, subscribe if you haven't. And if you want me to help you become your best version and have direct access to me, DM me the word ready on Instagram. Let me see if I can help you out. Let's